All right.
It's time once again for a couple of cookies with Corey and Carla.
Damn right, a couple of cookies. I forgot the beer, man.
We both, I didn't forget the beer. I had to go to this big thing tonight, and so I knew the beer was going to sit in my car for 3 hours. Who wants to drink warm beer? And I had to write a check because I needed cash to park downtown, which is a fucking crime. And so I overwrite this check, and I got to buy something, so I buy cookies.
Oh, so you bought? So those explain the cookies. So those aren't beer cookies.
These aren't beer cookies.
Whiskey cookies.
They are just gourmet peanut butter cookies.
Damn, you ain't even got no marijuana brownies or anything.
Nothing.
Damn. Well, I can proudly say I kept my end of the bargain so far. So I'm glad it was you, because if it was me, I'd never hear the end of it.
Yeah, but I have a legitimate excuse. Your excuse would be, man, I don't know.
That's exactly what it is. That's an excuse.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The movie that I was in was playing at the Alamo Ritz.
So you couldn't,
and I was emceeing, and so I couldn't.
That's all bullshit. You couldn't bring in the beer and have him like say, "Hey, can you keep this cold for me until I get out of here?" And see, there's a way around everything. You just gotta think those things through, man. Give me one of them cookies, by the way.
Take one of the cookies, dude. That's why they're here.
I'm gonna get some out of this deal.
Have some cookies. These are good damn cookies, dude. HEB knows how to make them.
Damn, these are damn good cookies, man.
I know. I'm not kidding. You're like gourmet from HEB.
Well, first I thought you said, yeah, I'm gonna touch
Don't
all
put
the
that
cookies.
back in the box.
It's all right. We got good germs, man.
You don't touch the cookies that I'm going to want to eat, dude.
Just don't touch that.
What the fuck, dude? Do not put a half-eaten cookie back in the box. Who the fuck does that?
Grab around the cookie. I'll take the other two cookies that it's touching right now. So, anyway, let me see.
You were that kid in your family that spit in his burger before he went to the bathroom, weren't you?
I did all that, man. I put the burger in my pants and dashed around and took it back out, put it back between the buns, out of my buns and back into the other buns. So yeah, I was that nasty kid. Well, anyway, I'm glad you got here, man.
Well, I'm glad too.
I know.
I left my celebrity-filled party to come here.
Oh hell, who was there? Your sister or?
Well, no. Do you know anything about the movie? When is tomorrow?
Well, we'll talk about that in a little while. I know you got something to do here, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into what we start out with every week, which is the this week's top 5.
Number 5.
It's a good one too, dude, this week, man.
This top 5 is crazy.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, Keith.
Oh yeah. Oh man. This week, guys. This is gonna be a fun one. What if you are a regular listener of a couple of cold ones? Everything I've talked about, especially over the last few weeks with the weird fudging numbers, that comes up this week because this week is a fucking bloodbath, and we are about to get into that now. That Corey has his headphones back. Yeah. Why do you apologize? They wouldn't have even known you were gone because here I am.
They heard me get up. They didn't hear me echoing across the room. Like it was almost like I was speedwalking in a cave.
You're not next to your fucking fellatio mic of doom.
And they heard me.
They did not hear shit.
Okay, I ain't got time to argue with you, boy. Let's go ahead and get into the top 5. It is an interesting one, and we're going to talk about it after we cover the top 5 because it's a long topic.
Oh, yeah. Number 5.
Okay.
Still holding in there.
Is Baby Mama.
Still holding in
Your
there. Your
favorite movie of the year.
Oh, man.
So far.
Baby Mama.
Well, it's still holding in there. I mean, it hasn't done gangbusters. It's up to 40 million, though, which is okay. I mean,
it's bigger than the budget they spent on it. So they made their money back. So look forward to Baby Daddy coming out next August.
What's that going to be about? Pregnant guy?
I don't give a shit.
You hear about that pregnant dude in China?
There isn't a pregnant dude in China.
I'm not. Okay. They're passing it off like a pregnant dude, but it's not.
It's not in China. It's a guy here in the United States.
Is it a dude? Okay, I just saw the pictures. It's a woman with a beard.
No. What it was?
She's mid transsexual right now.
Yeah. Well, no, she's full transsexual. She just never had her organs taken out.
That's a woman with a beard.
I'm well aware of that fact.
That's a bearded woman.
That's why I don't want to talk about this. Let's move on to number 4.
That's like the bearded woman at the circus getting pregnant.
I could give a shit. She was on every fucking show known to man. She made her money. She's having a baby. And now that baby has to explain who her mommy is. Great. There's another fucked up girl on the stripper pole.
I know. I love it. When you love to hear that story, if the stripper's on you, my mom has a beard.
No, dude, nothing would make my balls shrivel back back into my cavity faster than finding out that that stripper came out of a dude hole. I just don't want to fucking think about it.
I thought I was finally going to get to see a man shit a baby out of his ass. But anyway, okay, we're going to move on to number
4.
Maid of Honor, which was, I heard, just a really bad movie. I didn't get to see it, but I heard it was not that good. It's still up in the top 5, though.
Dr. McDreamy knows how to bring him in.
Yeah, he's hot right now. So, but I didn't see the movie. I don't know what to say about it.
On.
Yeah,
Let's
you didn't see it.
Bloodbath, number 3.
Okay, now here's where we're getting into things. New this week, we had 2 new movies. One of them is this film right here, What Happens in Vegas, Ashton Kutcher, Cameron Diaz.
Yep.
Apparently, Ashton Kutcher is still an A-list guy, still bringing them in.
Well,
for this kind of movie.
Well, no, I would not say that because how much did it do this weekend? $20 million.
Which for that kind of movie is decent.
Is
pretty
decent, but not summer decent.
For that kind of movie,
Because
it's okay.
We're about to get into another movie.
Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why that movie is considered to have decent box office this weekend, because it really wasn't advertised that much, and not until right up until like maybe 2 or 3 weeks when it was in there.
Now you're changing what you're saying.
No,
now you're saying it did decent because this isn't A-list.
No,
decent.
It didn't come in and do like $50 million. But what I'm saying is, this movie was up against a lot of things, and it's new this week. And I think a movie like this probably would have opened lower considering what it had to go up against, but it still did pretty well. But compared to this next movie,
number 2,
Speed Racer, which they're still debating. They don't know, but kaboom. It flopped.
It is the biggest bomb of the summer. I cannot imagine a film bombing as bad as this. Who fucking knew that this was going to... I know there's some people out there going, I knew it was going to tank, but the numbers didn't say this.
I did not know myself. I thought it was going to be... I didn't think it was going to open up huge, but this low?
Oh my God. Especially after last weekend, after a weekend where there was $100 million movie, and then we go and the other big movie that opens up, everybody's talking about it, everyone wants to know about it, and then kablowy. But we'll get into the big thing about that. The number 1 movie, holy shit, holding on there, $50 million.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Iron Man, and I'm not surprised about that. It's up to $177 million now. So
everybody I talked to is like, man, that movie was so awesome. I haven't heard of, I mean, I saw that like it had like 6% of critics snubbed it, but first of all, who the fuck were those people?
You always going to have one. You're always going to have somebody who's going to sit up there and say, no matter what, you got to have that one guy that's got to be different.
Yeah, you're going to have that one guy that fucks Jenna Jameson and goes, you know what? She really doesn't know how to suck a dick.
So it's for that kind of movie, I can understand why some people wouldn't like Iron Man. It's because if you're not into comic books, this is it is a comic book story, which
book movie goers are loving it.
No, they are. They are. But there's going to be some people who don't, because if you're not into comics, it is a routine story. But for comic book fans, that's a good thing. That's what they want to see. If you're somebody who's out there who's independent and you want to see something different, you want to see something new, somebody described this as it's a story straight out of a jar. And technically, yeah, it is. But for those people who are familiar with comic book movies, and especially familiar with Iron Man, from what I understand, it stayed very true to that book, and that's what they want to see. So, hey, whatever. The movie's doing well. Now, let's go ahead and get into this whole thing with Speed Racer and What Happens in Vegas.
This is where what's really weird. Speed Racer and What Happens in Vegas, their numbers are really close.
Yeah.
And apparently, according to Nikki Fink, she does Deadline Hollywood. Or he does Deadline Hollywood. Nikki. Who the fuck
knows? I know. Who knows? Yeah.
Apparently,
it's a stripper.
My mother was a father. No, apparently every other studio in town is accusing Warner Brothers of inflating their numbers on Sunday, saying that their Sunday numbers are just way above where they should be, thus just inching it ahead. You know, just nosing it. And it's funny that a movie about a race car driver who tries to fight the system, to fight big business in order to come in first and prove everyone wrong, fixes the fucking race to try to come in second instead of third behind an Ashton Kutcher movie.
That's what somebody said. They said a movie about family and going up against the man is a movie distributed by Warner Brothers. So, but this movie, on Friday, Because what you have here, Danny's cookies are good. What you have here is what happens in Vegas, straight across the board, $20 million. Now, with Speed Racer, you have a difference of $200,000. I think that's $20,210,000. So by Friday, it was actually in third place. And they're even saying that maybe when Monday, possibly, it could be back in third place.
No. Everybody, that's what everybody's saying, is all the other studios are calling bullshit and saying that it really is a third place movie when the actuals happen. But the point is that who's going to fucking know except other industry types and people like us? Because everyone is going to report. Everyone reported today that Speed Racer took second place. Speed Racer took second place. It bombed, but it still took second place behind Iron Man, the first big hit of the summer. But when it turns around, if those numbers turn out to be what happens in Vegas is a second movie this week, who's going to fucking know? They're not going to go and print a retraction. They're not going to print a story unless it gets really ugly.
Well, I mean, nobody's going to care because, I mean, damage is done at this point. In fact, if you take per screen average, what happens in Vegas actually did better because it had 400 screens less. So, man, it was funny because I was watching the trailer for Speed Racer, and I think they got everybody hyped up with that first trailer because I was into it. And then I was watching Cartoon Network all day while I was sitting at home working, and they start bringing up the other Speed Racer trailers. And those are really goofy. They're really toned down for kids, and they show they show you all the stuff, how cartoony and goofy this movie's going to be that you didn't see in that other trailer. And I think people might have lost interest after that. And here's an interesting thing here also. I was reading an article about the tracking of Speed Racer. And it turns out that even before people went to see the movie, people really weren't that interested.
Well, I think the main problem, and this is really Monday morning quarterbacking, but I think what I'm feeling is that they didn't know how to sell the movie to kids. Because this was a movie they were supposed to sell to kids. And if the kids had been in tune, it wouldn't have done $20 million. They would have been yanking at their parents' arms all week going, I want to see Speed Racer. I want to see Speed Racer. I want to see Speed Racer. It would have done no $20 million.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hard thing to say. I mean, because I think it's just, look, you can second guess and speculate. According to this article, in fact, people had expected this to not do that well, but they expected it to open up at $35 million.
Yeah, 35 to 40.
Yeah, and it ended up at 20. And they said, well, and this is what they said before they even went in. They said, well, it's going up against Iron Man, and it's just not that hot of a property. People just aren't into Speed Racer, and it's a kid's movie. So what kids are really into Speed Racer? Not that many. And it's being overshadowed by the fact that after Iron Man, they weren't waiting on Speed Racer. They were waiting on the Chronicles of Narnia.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, like I said, you can speculate. It's just one of those weird things, man. I thought the movie was going to do crazy business.
I did too. It really, and I'm the guy that really enjoyed it. I gave this full price because I still do. I really enjoyed the hell out of it. But it's, man, I can't believe it tanked like that. And now even fewer people are going to see it. But you know what? The same thing happened with Tron, if I remember correctly. Tron and a lot of those movies in 82 got kind of hosed. Stuff that we still hold today.
Yeah, it's a totally different age. I mean, this movie might, who knows, it might become some great thing on DVD, might not. I don't know.
I think it's going to become that stoner movie. You laugh. No, I'm serious when I say that. It's going to be that movie. There's a few movies like that already where it's like, dude, let's kick back with The Wall and,
See, I don't even think it will become, I don't think it'll be the stoner movie. I think it's going to be the club movie. I think it's going to be playing in the clubs where people are doing retro raves after raves. When raves start to make a comeback, because everything does eventually, or when people go to some big techno club, you're going to see some dude out there with a pacifier and a glow stick and, some shit around his neck.
And it's going to be you. Some dude. Why does it always have to be some dude? You've got the pacifiers in the closet going, come back, rave.
Exactly, yeah.
Come back. I can't wait to pull out my glow stick collection.
I know. I'm going to have a little whistle in my mouth, dancing in my little speed racer. Here I go. go here. Yeah, no, I think it's gonna.
Here he comes. Here comes Corey Coleman.
It's a cool looking movie, man. But if you remember, I wasn't that crazy about it, and I thought the movie was gonna do better. So, I mean, who knows, man? What can I say? Some people made on the site. Some people really gave some really some good answers for why it might not have done that well. Because people still want to go see, and I wish I could remember who the guy was. Micah. I believe he said that people really the kids still want to go see Iron Man. They want to go see it a second time.
Dude,
it was that
Iron
cool.
Man is awesome.
Iron Man really probably put a dent in this movie because kids are saying,
well, and this has always been my problem with May in particular. May became an official month of summer, and May kept coming earlier and earlier because back in the day, Memorial Day weekend was the start of summer. Mm-hmm. Well, once we hit, that was the first weekend, and then somebody said, hey, let's push up this movie a little bit. And then finally it came Spider-Man. They knew it was going to do well, but they decided to put it earlier in May to get it out of the way of everything else. And then sure enough, it exploded. And ever since then, May is summer, but everybody front loads their movies to where every week it's a big, huge, well-anticipated summer blockbuster. And then it's like, when one does really well, it bites into the other one. And when it doesn't, it's like, all right, well, let's wait till next week and hope that Shrek 3 doesn't suck.
I guess they should have, what can you do? You never would have saw this coming, but somebody said this should have been a January movie. I mean, not January, but probably an April movie, March movie.
April would have been the perfect time for this.
Yeah.
Or actually, you know what this would have been great for? Thanksgiving weekend. This would have been a great Thanksgiving weekend movie where, it's that movie that you have with all the kids.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably do well on DVD. I mean, it'll do decent. I don't even think it's going to do huge on DVD.
But the question is, will it ever make its money back? It costs, 120, 150 million?
I doubt it. Somebody's getting their ass kicked right now. Somebody's cleaning out that desk and getting ready to go.
No, because that's the thing, is that the guys who put this together are all exalted on high and have made so many hits. I mean, Joel Silver produced this thing.
Joel
Silver's been making,
Oh, I'm not talking about those guys. Those guys are the big wigs. There's some lower end guy.
Some guy in marketing.
Yeah, some guy. I don't know if you see that coming.
Marketing.
Get your ass on out of here. They got a trap door waiting for that dude. So, shit rolls downhill, man. Somebody's taking the blame for this. Somebody's in a dungeon somewhere getting their ass beat right now. But whatever, man. Hey, speed racing. Nobody gives a shit.
I give a shit.
There was a tsunami and people are dying. Nobody gives a fuck about speed racing.
Well, there wasn't a tsunami, asshole. It was a cyclone.
Yeah, whatever. Point is, people are dying and nobody give a fuck about speed race. Those guys, everybody involved in that movie is going to live. Everybody's going to have a good life. People, somebody's going to make a money. Somebody got cut a fat paycheck. So who gives a shit? Anyway, how was your Mother's Day, man?
That was all right. Enjoying my new house. Got to chill out in the backyard. Found out that all my neighbors on Sunday get together and have like cookouts and
crackheads.
And,
you live next to a crack house?
No, not at all, dude.
Meth house?
No, it was really cool because one of my neighbors, they did it up. They, family members came over and brought tables, and all the kids are setting the tables out back, and they're chilling in their backyard, having Sunday dinner together. It was really cool.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm so tired right now, man. I'm pulling up what we have to do next, but drove to Houston to see my sister because my nephew graduated college, and as I'm driving there, here's the weirdest thing, man. I'm driving to Houston, and there's this, before I even get out of Austin, there's this guy that's tailgating me, like right on almost near my bumper. And I'm thinking, who the fuck is this young punk behind me trying to, does he think he's speed racing? He's going to jump over my car? And I'm looking back to see, like, if it's some guy in a Thunderbird or something. And I look back and it's this old beat up truck. And then the guy finally sees an entrance to like go around me. But
the story is, you're driving slow and this guy's tailgating. You look up, it's a beat-up truck.
I'm driving fast, and there's a guy who's driving way faster, and you could tell because other people are getting nervous from this guy. But the guy's a maniac, and this is my point. The guy's driving like he's insane, and I'm thinking it's some young kid, and there was like a 70-something-year-old man driving his fucking truck. And
now here's the thing: you're motioning going around.
Yeah.
Except where you're motioning, were you driving in the fast lane?
I was, see, that's the problem. I was driving fast.
It doesn't matter if you're driving fast. Were you passing other traffic?
Yeah, I was, but I wasn't gonna go.
But you didn't get the fuck out of the way for this guy.
No,
you do
because
realize you're the guy that I
no,
scream and wave my fist.
No,
at
because you're the guy that's going too fucking fast.
Oh, yeah, because
first
you
of all,
are the judge of what is too fucking fast.
Yeah, I am the judge of what's too fucking fast. Because this guy, because I was passing other people, and I'm like, because that's why I was in that lane, because there were other people who were going slower than I was. So I'm saying I'm
You're
not
in the fast lane going slow, and this guy
I'm telling you, I'm not going to get a ticket for this fucking asshole right there. That's people I'm passing.
See those the signs of what you guys out there in the listening world need to understand is here in Texas we have these signs all over the place.
Dude, I don't
that say get the fuck out.
No, we don't have signs that say that. No, we have signs that say don't drive like a fucking maniac.
No,
but this dude.
There's the right lane for passing only, and there's also
and I was hey, look,
slower traffic.
Look,
keep right.
I was
slower
passing.
You were the slower traffic.
No, I wasn't the slower traffic. This guy's driving like a maniac.
Let him go.
Okay,
just get out of the way and let him go.
No, I'm not going to let him go.
Swinging dick.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Were you in the car with me?
Yeah.
No, you weren't. Shut the fuck up.
I'm always with you, Corey.
You were.
I'm actually not here. I'm in your head. People listen every week. Listen to a couple of
listen to me. You were in your ghetto neighborhood having doing fucking meth with your neighbors.
Yes,
so,
that's clearly what I was doing. While you were driving slow like a granny on Sunday with some dude trying to get around you, would not get out of the fucking way.
While I was driving to go hang out with my family, you were hanging next door doing all kind of fucking drugs next to that crack house you were at.
Let's go to Carlisle must live in the fucking ghetto.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to Corey who was driving too slow. So you're gonna make assumptions about me. I'm gonna make assumptions about you.
You're telling a story about some guy riding your ass, and I was asking,
exactly.
Were you in the fast lane? Yes, you were.
Yeah, and I was driving. Let me ask you something. You've never seen somebody who was just speeding along, and people are like trying to get
the fuck out of their way. Let them go and move back into the fast lane.
Because look, there's traffic next to me also. It's like I didn't even have a chance to get back into the lane.
Actually passing that traffic, there wouldn't be.
If you were actually living in a decent neighborhood and not doing any fucking...
What are you talking about living in a decent... Why you got to get all like I live in the fucking ghetto?
Because there was a bunch of ghetto kids that came out of school that day.
What does that have to do with you driving slow? Just because I live near a middle school that happens to have, ghetto kids.
The point is, if where there's ghetto kids, there's a ghetto, and you in it. So,
that has nothing to do.
So
with
happy about this house,
slow ass motherfucker.
At
least my house has carpet. You son of a bitch. I'm sitting around in this place.
Exactly. You know why? Because I'm about to put down some wood floors.
You've been saying that for like 3 years.
Yeah, but at least my neighbors ain't doing crack.
My neighbors aren't doing crack either. The people across the highway are doing crack.
That's
and
close
lots
enough.
of it, apparently.
But anyway,
I wish I had easy access to drugs. It would make this a lot easier.
It would. Shit, we're going to both need it after this.
I live in the ghetto? Are those sirens I'm hearing?
Yeah, because I'm in a fucking freeway. That's why. Which you are too. You can't tell me. And you at least see. No. Here because
calling me
right
out
here
in the ghetto. You live behind a liquor store next to the highway.
No, right here. Like you hear an ambulance in your neighborhood, that's followed by gunshots.
Fuck off. I live in a nice. I can walk to a fucking Dairy Queen, dude, and I do so. It's pretty.
You can walk to a Dairy Queen and buy a crack rock.
Yeah, that's
cool. And get a Blizzard. Okay.
What the hell happened to our review?
What do you mean? What the hell happened to our review?
We recorded a review of What Happens in Vegas, and I see it posted this morning. It's like, oh, he finally got around to posting What Happens in Vegas, and I click on it. All of a sudden, you're sitting there with a co-host.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was just that night. Everybody was talking over each other so much, and we do that anyway. I don't stop anything because I'm going to edit it all out, but it was just everywhere, and it was nothing to work with. As a matter of fact, I gave it to Cyrus, and I said, "Hey, you work on this while I do something else because I just don't have time to do it right now." And he called me back. I actually called him and I said, "How's it going?" He's like, "I can't really do anything."
And see,
with
you
this.
know what? I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be nice the other night. I was trying to be, hey, why don't just me and you do this? Because I was getting that vibe that we were going there. I was getting stepped on all the time during Speedway. So, hey, why don't we go and just, do that? And you're like, oh no, we've got everybody here. Let's do it. And,
well, we never know how it works out. I mean, we that's seldom that we ever had that problem.
No, I know, but I can tell when it's happening. And that was,
you never, like I said, you never know. I mean, it's been nice. We've recorded 5 things in a row and they all worked. And it's kind of cool having everybody there at certain points because everybody brings something to it. It's just one of those occasions, man, where it didn't work out. And if it doesn't work, got no choice but to record it over. So I just called,
You should have called me up.
well, it was,
You should have called me. You were about to say it was the middle of the night.
yeah, by that point, when I was getting ready to do it, I just had to pull out the co-host and do it. I mean, it was,
I saw the movie. I had. You should post the. You should at least post the raw audio.
because the raw audio isn't even that good. I mean, trust me, man, it is not that good. It's one, like I said, it's one of those where I don't know what was going on that night, but nobody in that review was on that mark. So I had to just cut it. And so, I mean, it's happened with all of us. I mean, I've done it with everyone. So, I mean, hey, it happens every now and then. Oh, if you would be interested, I mean, I would hate for you to bring up something you say I don't care, and you just sit there and eat another peanut butter cookie.
Hit me. There are no more peanut butter cookies. I'm out. I have to talk this whole time now. No more stalling.
Okay, you ready then? Okay.
Yeah. What else?
Michael Jackson's Neverland did not get foreclosed.
Oh, I did not hear about that. That's kind of fucked up.
Why is that fucked up?
Because the dude's like fucking in debt and owes money to everybody.
And
he was able to save his little, pedophile land.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know why they call it Never Neverland. I don't know why it's not, called Happy Touch Time.
Because he will never have sex with an adult in that place, I guess. But he was.
Well, yeah, because it's like, hey, baby, why don't I show you my Ferris wheel? No, that only works on 7-year-olds. Do you have an email?
Yeah, I was going to say, let's go to email,
dude. What time is it?
It's 1:19.
Okay, dude, we only got 20 minutes left. It's email time.
Yeah. Okay.
Hit up email.
So let's see. This first email is from Aaron, and Aaron said, let's see. Recently, film critic Richard Roper has praised Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and he has went as far as to say that he would put it on the list of his 50 favorite comedies. From what I heard, people were very upset about this. So what do you and Carlisle think? Well, I didn't see the movie. And second of all, I mean, this is cut real short. It's his list, I'm assuming. I don't watch the show. So I'm just going to guess that if he has a list that he carries around his pocket, let's just say that, and he put that movie on there, that's his opinion, that's his list. Why would people get upset about that?
Because people will find anything to get upset about. I mean, I get, especially I always bitch about it, but once it comes to top 10 list time of the year, I get so many emails from people, and I've gotten them for years. Just, hey, did you see so-and-so's top 10 list? How awful is that? How dare he put this film on the list? Oh my God. How dare they forget this film? And it's like, dude, it's their 10 picks of the year that, the guy really liked the comedy. I really liked the comedy. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Would you put it on your top 50?
My top 50 of all time?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But I mean, that's I've seen thousands upon thousands of movies. It's a hard list to get onto.
You see, Aaron, the problem with lists is that people, they forget that it's about opinion. I mean, we ourselves, we're the ones that give these lists importance. Because like 50, like,
and even we don't take them seriously.
Exactly.
Most critics don't take them seriously. Some do, and they're like, "Oh my God, I have to do this and this." And most critics are really like, "Oh shit, I have to do a top 10 list next week because I got nothing else to write about."
I mean, think about people's 100 most beautiful people, and then we go into like, we think that that person really is the most beautiful person. Like, no, it's a bunch of fucking chicks sitting in a room thinking this guy's cute and that girl's cute, and that's it. I mean,
Maxim, all they do at Maxim is they track back all the websites they went to and how many times they jerked off to each girl, and then they put together the top 100 list.
Now, see, that's you can measure that. I like that list, and I can relate to that personally. I still
don't get how Eva Longoria ranks that high on the list. I don't get it.
Let's see.
I don't get it.
Next email comes from Tony.
Tony.
Exactly. And Tony says, let me see. I'll just paste these down. I want to make sure I word this right. I want to ask you, with the success of Iron Man and the big interest in superhero movies in Hollywood lately, do you think there will ever be a sequel to one of my all-time favorite comic book characters, Spawn?
Dude, they've tried so hard. And I think what is essential with a Spawn movie, it'll happen eventually. There's so much heat on superhero movies, and Spawn really does have a fan base and had a successful cartoon. What needs to happen is it can't be a sequel, because that movie was deep fried ass.
No, that movie was terrible. And I think that Spawn, when I look at when I see Spawn, even if they had made it a great movie, it's still a character that I think is going to be hard for a mainstream audience to relate to.
I know. I think the problem with Spawn is that McFarlane fucked up. I loved Spawn. I was a big Spawn fan. I was collecting from day one. In fact, one of the few comic books I still have is my run of issues 1 through 12 of Spawn, because what a great idea that was. Here you have a superhero who can do whatever he wants, but every time he does something, he gives up a little bit of his life, and it's the last bit of life that he has left on this earth. And no matter what he does, he can't get back together with everything that made him happy. The whole reason he came back. Such a great deep concept.
I bought Spawn because I love the art. That was about the time that art style was coming in, and I bought Spawn because I love the way it looked, and I could just I could just never get into the story. And the story. The story is everywhere.
And the problem is that eventually he's like, oh wow, I have a hit on my hands. I can't end it. And so when you're reading those first issues, you know Spawn's going to die, and he's not going to die in a long time. He's going to die soon. And that was such a great story. And then it kind of went.
Well, I'm just going to answer your question and say no. I don't think they're going to make a sequel to it.
No, I don't know if they might make a sequel, but what is most likely going to happen is people are going to go, that movie was so long ago and it was so bad, and look at the sheer number of reboots we've been able to pull off.
Yeah,
I mean, they rebooted Batman. They rebooted the Incredible Hulk. Dude, let's just make a new Spawn movie and start over and get it right this time.
Yeah, and that's what I was actually going to say. I don't think there will be a sequel because that movie's been too long. I was going to say exactly what you're saying. I was like, the trend now is just to remake something.
Yeah. So you'll never see a sequel, but the odds of you seeing a Spawn movie are probably pretty
But I don't
good.
even think they're going to see a Spawn movie anytime soon. Because the character is just not as hot of a property as it used to be. I mean, you got the toys now and everything that people are still into. And that series on HBO, it started out kind of big, but it ended kind of
but let me ask you, how hot a property was Speed Racer?
And look what happened to Speed Racer.
They got $150 million to make the fucking movie. I guarantee you it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time when. And the main problem is McFarlane has to get done with all his fucking legal issues. The guy has gotten himself tied up into too many legal problems. And
Todd McFarlane is the guy who created Spawn, and that's when you see all McFarlane toys.
His name is, I think he officially changed his name to Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn. If you ever see him, like at the beginning of every Spawn cartoon episode, hi, I'm Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn.
Yeah,
and you see him on an interview. Hi, I'm Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn.
I know, it's like watching.
He's not like, hi, I'm Todd McFarlane, cartoonist and creator of Spawn. Creator of Spawn, creator of Spawn.
Well, didn't Walt Disney do that? Hi, I'm Walt Disney, creator of Mickey Mouse. And didn't Charles Schultz do that? Hi, I'm Charles Schultz, creator of Peanuts.
Yeah, okay, let me ask you something, Corey. You love Charles Schultz.
Oh, yeah.
You have an altar to him in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Are you really going to put him in the same category with Todd McFarlane?
Oh, hell no.
So don't do it.
No,
don't bring up two of the greatest animators of our time, Walt Disney and Charles Schultz, and compare him to Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn.
No. Todd McFarlane is not anywhere close to Charles Schultz. So,
he is not fit to lick his wet, rotten
All right. You don't have to go there. That's nasty now. Goddamn.
That's nasty, baby.
That's just nasty. I'm going to let you answer this email, but I'm not going to answer it because I'm going to save this for an experiment I'm going to do later. But I'll read it out and you tell me what you think.
Okay.
There's this girl I really want to ask out, and I'm not sure if I should because she smokes. I'm afraid that if I do go out with her, that I might be persuaded into smoking also. I really do like this girl. Any advice? And yes, I'm a teenager. I am a teenager, and this is from Ito.
No,
you're
a teenager.
I thought you were 50 years old with that email, man.
Dude, well, of course Corey's not going to answer because let me answer for Corey because Corey thinks that I don't know how he thinks, but. I know how Corey's going to answer this shit.
You'd be surprised, but go ahead and tell me.
I'd be surprised.
Tell me.
Yeah, I might be surprised. Dude, let me think like Corey for a second. Ask her the fuck out. I mean, no, come on. If you're really worried about smoking, then don't. But you know what? The question is she a real smoker or is she a high school smoker? Because there's a big difference. There are people who smoke, and then there's people who smoke to look cool, and they'll smoke in front of everybody else. And if you go out with her, she won't pull out a cigarette at all if you're not smoking.
People start out smoking to look cool. I cannot find any other reason for why people smoke other than they smoke to be cool.
I smoked for several years. When I started smoking, it wasn't to look cool. It was because I was hanging out with a bunch of other smokers. And the
secondhand smoke,
the smell was getting to me, so I started smoking cigars.
That is the first time I've ever heard that.
I started smoking cigars, and everybody complained about that, so I moved on to smoking pipes. And smoking pipes was great, and people loved that. But then sometimes
you smoked a pipe. How old were you when you were going around smoking a pipe?
19.
You were 19 years old going around smoking a pipe.
Yeah,
like.
I still have them. Yeah, like a real pipe. I had.
No, we're not talking about like a Popeye corncob pipe. We're talking
about Meerschaum pipes,
like the professor.
Like the professor, I'd load up a bowl and I would smoke, and it would, I smoked regular tobacco.
And you walk down the street like Sherlock Holmes with like.
And you know what? Let me tell you, not the best idea when you have long hair, because the cops will pull you over, empty out your pipe, and smell it. I have had my pipe smelled just so many times because they wanted to bust me. They're like,
yeah,
and it's like, dude, it's just tobacco. I'm a tobacco smoker.
You know what? They should have busted you for being the biggest fucking dork, man. You were a true nerd. And I'm not even like making fun of you, but
no, dude, you act like that's an insult. I am a fucking dork.
I've seen these kids like you, the ones that go around with the pipe, and did you wear a trench coat or anything when you were doing this too?
No,
okay.
I was never a trench coat mafia kid. I was never that.
Okay, not even trench coat mafia.
There was this great bit that someone wrote in a book back in the 90s where it was one of those things where it's like, there are only two people in this world that wear trench coats: police detectives and dorks. Are you a police detective? No, you are not.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't saying that you were going around looking like a goth kid. When I say Sherlock Holmes, I actually meant, were you walking around with like a British hat on?
No, I would never. You don't smoke a pipe and walk.
Because
smoking a pipe is something you do when you're sitting back, you're sipping coffee, other people are smoking, you pull out your pipe, you smoke, you enjoy it. It's something you do while you're sitting for half an hour, because that shit is not a quick smoke.
If you do not have a PhD and you're under 50, you don't need to be walking down the street smoking a fucking pipe.
I have a PhD in kicking ass, motherfucker. That's what I've got.
I got a PhD too, pretty hard dick, and I'm about to smack you with this shit. Smoking a pipe at 19, man.
Dude, you're in a room alone with me, and you've got a hard dick. Thinking about
this. I'm not gonna get childish with you, but let me just say, this is coming from the guy who last week went on for like about 10 minutes. I love a good ass poking. So don't you
Who
even
doesn't love a good ass poking?
Not me. Do you smoke a pipe when you get that?
Why would you smoke a? You smoke a pipe when you're sitting and chilling. But
Okay.
let's bring it back to the email.
No. Let me because
Okay,
when I've seen these kids walking around, I've like on the drag. Every year when I was going to college, I would see one kid, and I'll pass by like, wow, that's a nice aroma. Where's that coming from? And I turn around at some fucking kid with some crazy facial hair.
Okay, that was me too. I had a Fu Manchu.
See.
I had a full-on Fu Manchu, dude.
That's what I'm talking about. You were that dork that I saw once a year.
Yeah, that was me. Stalking you on the drag. One day, Corey Coleman, we'll be sitting in your apartment at 2 a.m.
Did you have a monocle also?
No, I never
Okay,
had
all
a
right.
monocle.
Okay, excellent then.
Perfect
Okay,
vision.
but let me. I didn't want to answer this email, and actually, I have a great answer for this, but I'm going to try something. We want to try and put up some content during the middle of the week. So there's been a lot of people every week who send these emails in asking for relationship advice or asking for girl advice or guy advice. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to try and make this a segment in the middle of the week. I'm just going to do a webcam in the middle of the week where if somebody has all these questions, I'll put it up and I'm going to try it out with this first one. And I'm going to see how that works out. And if it works, fine. If not, then hey, I'll drop it. But
but my answer to this, dude, if you're interested in her, ask her out. First of all, smoking is something that can be quit, and finding a great person is not necessarily as easy as that. And really, it really does come back. If she's a high school girl, dude, she's probably a high school smoker. She might not be a smoker. And really, if you're dating her and she tries to make you smoke, dude, that's where you bail out. That's where you know she's not cool. Because if she were really cool, she'd say, oh, no, you don't have to do this. I just do this.
I will say this. I'm not even saying this from trying to be a moral adult or some kind of moral figure to you, but don't smoke, man. Just I have my reasons. I won't go into it real long, but I'll save that for Wednesday. But it's not good.
But having been a longtime smoker,
Exactly.
I can say, don't do it. It's a trap. And you know what? The way I quit, I mean, this is how dorky I was, but it worked, dude. I actually, when I quit for 3 months, I took the amount of money that I spend every week on smoking, and I went out and bought miniatures with it. You know, my miniatures that I painted. And I built a shelf and I started putting those miniatures on there. And you laugh, but after 3 months, I looked at this entire shelf of miniatures. It even crawled onto another shelf. And I was like, oh my God, that's how much money I'm spending. I made a physical representation of how much money I was spending. And it was like, I could have bought this, you know, hundreds of times over with all this money that I smoked up.
Yeah, I'd do that with drinking right now. But I was funny because I was laughing because I could see you sitting up there painting your miniatures while you're smoking a pipe.
Well, no, because once you quit, quitting is the worst fucking thing in the world.
I just picture you doing everything with a pipe now.
And see, I always find that funny because you always draw Leon with a pipe,
But see, if I would have known,
smoked a pipe.
if I would have known that you actually
I'm now
smoked a
going
pipe,
to be animated with a pipe every goddamn time now. But you know what? I loved that pipe. That was awesome. There were so many girls that I dated that would buy me pipe stuff because they thought it was so cute. Let me tell you, 19 years old and being the only guy smoking a pipe, all the girls looking for someone a little different, always gravitated towards Captain Pipe Man. Oh yeah. That wasn't really a nickname or anything because that's like the lamest nickname ever. But
well, I wouldn't. They were probably the lamest girls ever if they were coming seeking out a guy who was 19 years old smoking a pipe.
Pot kettle. Let's not talk about your pool of miscreants that you.
Oh man,
shed.
I've covered the gambit, man. I probably had those.
One of my favorite lines ever comes from you, dude. The minute she got naked, all that crazy went away.
I think I dated some girls who smoke pipes.
I think they smoked something.
So yeah. So anyway, that's our email for the week there, and I guess I'll answer this question later on. Another thing I'm going to try. A lot of people have been asking. Okay, so you said you're going to try to do a call-in program at one time, and so I'm not going to involve you in this. But I found a way of doing this without having to involve anybody. And again, it's another experiment. I found a service that will actually let us put a player on our page. And at a specific time, people can call, and I can take calls right here and do a show just like we're doing right now. Except people can call in, and we can do anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour and a half. So
if only there were a way to simplify that, where people could record videos on their own and put them somewhere so that we could respond to them.
Okay, I don't understand what the hell you're talking about. I mean. It's
good. It's all good.
No, it's just so Tuesday night. I have it set up to where. Let me see. Let me make sure I got the right information here. Tuesday night, I have it set up to where I can try and do an hour-long show taking calls. And the reason why I want to do this is, like I said, I want the people out there to any way I can give them a voice.
Tuesday night. Which Tuesday night?
This Tuesday night.
When?
At 10 o'clock, 10 p.m.
Okay, so you know that that's not going to be the call-in time every week. That you can only do. No.
I'm only doing it this week because we have people coming down from the company on Wednesday. Because I was going to set it up for Wednesday. And if it has to change every now and then I will change it. But it's not even a regular thing yet. As I said, it's an experiment. So let me get the information here. So this Tuesday at 10 p.m. I'm going to try this hour-long call-in show.
10 p.m. what time?
10 p.m. what time?
10 p.m. Central Time?
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, I mean, and people know where.
Or actually, no, that's 8 p.m. Pacific because it's
Let's see.
9 p.m. Mountain Time, and then 8 p.m. Pacific, and then who the fuck cares for Hawaii? You Hawaiians suck anyway.
Even I like to hear from some
really
Hawaiians.
Part of the United States.
So 10 p.m. Central.
I can't mail shit to you.
The number here that you call for that, if you want to take it down, I have it listed on my profile page, but the number is 646-716-9612. That's 646-716-9612. Again, it's an experiment. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I like to try new things just to see how many things we can do here. So I'm going to go ahead and let you get on out of here then.
Alrighty.
So, do you sing a song or something when we leave? I don't even pay attention. I'm up here trying to cut this thing off.
No, I don't. I usually say good night, everybody.
That's good enough. Good night, everybody.